stress management, which you most of you are looking for. How we can tame the amygdala. I have not used the term shutting the amygdala. Why? Because amygdala is not only responsible for our negative emotions, it is also responsible for our positive emotions. If we shut down the amygdala or if we remove the amygdala, our happy feelings will also be gone. Okay? So how the mild stress is converted into chronic stress? So mild stress is like this, like the strings of a guitar or a violin. So they are stressed, they are tightened slightly. If we try to stretch it more, it will break down. Like a fire alarm. If it buzzes once a day for a minute, it will give us mild stress and we will reoccupy our seats and we'll again doing our work. If it buzzes all the day, it will give us chronic stress. So there are certain thresholds when the temporal stress, the small stress is converted into chronic stress. So the mild stress is characterized by acute mobilization of energy that lasts for second 2 minutes. It is a good stress that enhances this brain function. Like when we ride a 3-minute roller coaster ride, that much stress gives us pleasure. But if this is extended, this roller coaster ride is extended to half an hour or 1 hour, it will give us chronic stress. And when it will become chronic stress depend upon individuals. For some people, it will convert to chronic stress in minutes, for some in hours, for some in days, and for some in months. What it does, the chronic stress, it causes atrophy of hippocampal dendrites. I have explained it earlier. So your hippocampus is damaged and your memory ability is reduced. And there is a psychological context. So a little bit amount of challenge, a loss of control. For a small amount of time we are happy to relinquish the control. Like for some difficult chess move or plot twist in the movie. A little bit of stimulation, a little bit of loss of control, we love it. We love it. It stimulates us. But when this loss of control prolongs, it provides us psychological stress. Because now we are not feeling engaged, we are feeling anxious, neurotic, and paranoid. Our brain thinks that we will be completely thrown out of our homeostatic balance. It's the responsibility of hypothalamus to maintain this homeostatic balance. All our organs perfectly working in harmony. It's the hypothalamus whose responsibility is to maintain the homeostatic balance inside our body. There is individual variability. There is no universal moment which when stress turns bad, because the transition point on the inverted U is highly individuated. In other words, we all have a different amount of that inverted U curve. Our limits will be different. What one person finds to be wonderful stimulation, a hobby, other may perceive as a nightmare. Well, depending upon that, left hemisphere is strong, right hemisphere is strong, ventral cortex is strong, or dorsolateral ventromedial cortex strong, or dorsolateral cortex strong. But this all can change. I am again repeating, this all can change through changing your thoughts, your beliefs, your behaviors. And how to take control of amygdala, how to tame down. I have taken messages from John B. Arden. This is the natural way when how amygdala works. Suppose you see a danger through your eyes. There are two pathways. One is through eyes to thalamus, and then to the visual occipital lobe of your cortex, and then through amygdala. Then amygdala decides your parasympathetic or sympathetic response, your nervous system to act. But there is a shortcut also. One shortcut is there from visual thalamus to amygdala. So sometimes what happens that this activity is prior to that. In most of the times, amygdala is activated prior to our visual cortex is activated. In the right hand figure, suppose you are walking, it is dark, you are walking in park, and all of a sudden you see a big shadow of this shrub. So your amygdala will all of a sudden warn you. Again, your heart will start racing up, your eyes will be dilated, all your glucose will be shifted towards brain and your muscles to run away. all this, your sympathetic nervous system will be activated. But after 2 seconds, 3 seconds, your PFC will also be activated. Hippocampus will tell that this looks like, based on previous memory, this looks like nothing like but a shrub. Then she's the shrub actually, and his PFC says no, this is a shrub only. And parasympathetic nervous system start working, and sympathetic nervous system is shut down. This is how it automatically works. The problem is that when we keep on activating our amygdala or sympathetic neural system through our thoughts, through our thinking. So there are two systems which orchestrate this life-saving response. One is the autonomic nervous system, the body's automatic control panel, where the sympathetic nervous system starts acting. Another is the HPA axis. I will be explaining in the next slide. The hypothalamus tells pituitary gland something, pituitary gland tells adrenal gland something, and cortisol is released. So the autonomic nervous system is activated and the HPA axis is activated. And suppose these all are activated by this amygdala only. And suppose you know that there is no real danger and you are activating both of them through your thoughts only. And most of the time, we activate the autonomic nervous system, the SNS and HPA through our thoughts only. Then we have to take action to shut down this SNS and to start the PNS, parasympathetic nervous system, and to shut down the HPA axis. John B. Arden has told certain methods how to shut down the HPA axis and how to shut down the SNS. So this is amygdala. When the amygdala senses a danger, it signals hypothalamus. Hypothalamus releases a hormone known as CRH. Pituitary gland in turn releases a hormone known as ACTH. And adrenal gland secretes cortisol, like this. If the release of cortisol is prolonged, it means that this HPA axis are not shut down by itself. There are two harmful effects. One, the amygdala triggers the liver to make more glucose available in the bloodstream, so that the glucose is stopped in all non-essential organs like your digestive system and tissues, and is diverted to your brain and legs and limbs, so that you can run faster, you can fight better, you can think better. Basically, it is a long-term strategy for insulin resistance. If you remain stressed for long, and there is a huge amount of cortisol for long in your body, it starts converting protein also into glycogen and begins to store fat. For your future imagined dangers. So if a person is continuously in chronic stress, the chances is that he will become fat. And the other harmful effect is that loss of memory. How? The hippocampus has many cortisol receptors. So under normal circumstances, these receptors receive the cortisol and try to turn down the HPA axis. But when you keep on thinking about one thing, then the cortisol production is excessive and prolonged, and the hippocampus receptors themselves shut down. The receptors think that now we can't do anything, and they are shut down. They are shut down, and hippocampus then begins to atrophy. It begins to be damaged, and so your memory does damaged. And unfortunately, the reverse happens for the amygdala. It swells, it becomes larger inside, and it becomes more sensitive. In future, you will be disturbed more often with smaller amount of disturbances also, because you have swelled your amygdala and reduced your hippocampus. Right? Hippocampus provides the basis to your PFC that the actual danger is not there on the basis of your memory. Hippocampus is damaged, there is nobody to support your PFC. And to make the matter worse, amygdala is expanded, it is swollen. It is in charge now. So it's a vicious cycle, and you are always in stress. Now the method how to tame the amygdala and shut down the HPA axis. So I have told you that your left frontal lobe, your left hemisphere, it is involved in constructive work, for order, for reasoning, and your right brain is involved in your emotional thinking. So your right brain along with the amygdala causes you emotional distress. If you want immediate relief, you start taking action from your left frontal lobe. Means you start constructing anything. You start doing certain action which requires your left frontal lobe to come into action. The left frontal lobe promotes positive emotions. The left prefrontal lobe and the hippocampus, they work together to tame the amygdala and shut down the HP axis. So how can you activate your left PFC? Do anything constructive, do anything challenging, do anything which requires reasoning and logical. What I do, I start making presentations. What I do, I start playing badminton again. Anything which engages my mind constructively. There would be something in your life. If it is not there, please develop, which gives you pleasure while doing it. So whenever negative thoughts come to your mind, you engage your left frontal lobe. You start doing something constructive. And it may be as small as drawing something, doodling on paper, writing something in journal. As small as these things can help you in shutting down the HPA axis. I have tried it, and you can also try it. Basically, how to tame your amygdala? So the problem is as that if you're continuously remaining stress is that your amygdala is always pressed the panic button without any real stress or stress. Prolonged cortisol is there, and your amygdala is hypersensitive, and your fight or flight response is always on. Cortisol is always there, and this is always on. Your heart rate is always increasing. Your blood pressure is always increasing. Your muscles are always in tension. And what is the way out? The way out is that take constructive action that activates your left frontal lobe, which helps tame the amygdala. Like this in the infographic, the person there is making a presentation, writing something like what I do. Use gradual exposure. The situation which provide you fear, anxiety, face them. Don't run away from them. And finally, which most of the authors have recommended, activate your relaxation response. Deep, slow breathing to engage your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms you down. Your heart rate gets down, your blood pressure gets down, and your muscle tension gets down. You take these three measures to take some constructive action for short-term measure, use gradual exposure for long-term measure, and do meditation. And if you're not able to do meditation, whenever stress comes to you, try deep, slow breathing. Whenever you try deep, slow breathing, it strengthens your PNS system, parasympathetic system. So on one hand, by taking constructive action, you activate your left frontal lobe, and while this deep breathing, you activate your PNS. And you take care of your amygdala, you tame down your amygdala. So most of the negative stresses in most of us are caused due to negative narratives or negative beliefs that have built for us and for people around us. Any thought or experience, the emotional tone and perspective, what we give to it, if we give it more emotional tone and more perspective, the same neural path will be wired inside our brain. The same neural pathways will be strengthened. The more we describe our ongoing experience in a particular way, the stronger the neural circuits that represent those thoughts will become. Same experience, if you describe in a positive way, they will activate the positive neural circuits. Same experience, if you describe in your brain in a negative way, they will activate the negative neural circuits. Right? So your narratives are basically reinforced thoughts, which you continuously think over for yourself and for others. Like for yourself, this is hard. Some work you are continuously thinking this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. Now this will become hard and you will continuously in stress. I wonder whether I am going to survive. You keep on thinking this, I wonder whether I am going to survive. and you will continuously in stress due to this negative narrative. It looks like this is going to turn out badly. You are going for a meeting, you are going for a presentation, you are thinking in advance. It looks like this is going to turn out badly. So this is a narrative which you are building. This is a negative narrative which you are building inside yourself, which is responsible for stress. So the previous techniques like engaging your left side hemisphere and deep breathing, those provide short-term benefits in stress management. Changing the narratives, they provide long-term benefits in stress management. So there are three ways to modify your thoughts. First of all, identify your automatic thoughts. Notice your self-talk, the continuous talk that is going inside your mind. These are the short surface level thoughts that flash throughout the day in your mind. Like suppose you are going for a meeting and you are having this type of talk in your mind. Oh no, I have to meet new people. So what you have to do, you are feeling stressed. Oh, I have to meet new people. You can change the same thought to, oh no, I have to meet new people. Great. It is an opportunity to meet interesting people. I will be meeting interesting people. The same situation, the impending situation, and you have modified your self-talk from a negative to a positive one. Question your assumptions. The second step. Like you have assumed in your mind that I am not good with strangers. I am not good with my family. I am not good in playing badminton. So this is an assumption that you have made in your mind. These are the theories and rules you live by. You can change them also. Suppose you have an assumption, I am not good with strangers. You can change it to I may be shy, but I find meeting new people exciting. And when, okay, I am not good in the first instance. If somebody meets me, he finds me not interesting. But if he meets me a number of times, he will find me exciting and interesting. Likewise, the same personality, the name situation, you can change your assumptions. Finally, your core beliefs. Challenge your foundation, your core beliefs. Question your beliefs. Is it a fact or is it only opinion? Start asking questions to yourself. Suppose you have a negative belief, I am incapable of forming new relationships. Ask yourself, it is a fact or it is an opinion? Can it be false? Yes. Start seeking positive evidences. So instead of having the belief, I am incapable of forming new relationships, start having belief that I am a good person and people will agree when they get to know me. Same you, but different core beliefs. No hemisphere is good or bad. They both work in tandem. The right hemisphere makes the overall picture, overall narrative. The left hemisphere can give a positive spin to that narrative. So use your left hemisphere to make a positive narrative. The challenge isn't to live a life without stress, but to find the wisdom to respond appropriately. Like this two circles of Stephen Covey. One is the circle of concern, the bigger circle. And one is the circle of influence that we can control. Always concentrate on the circle of influence. The things that you can control, that you can modify, that you can change. There is no point on concentrating on your circle of concern. The things are affecting you, but you can't do anything for them. So you will see a surprise when you keep on focusing on the circle of influence. You will find, Stephen Covey says that you will find that this circle of influence starts getting bigger and bigger. And your circle of concern starts getting smaller and circle of influence starts getting bigger. So the main point is that focus on only the circle of influence. Avoid and ignore the circle of concern.